From the time we're born, we have our own culture, and this is the biggest reason for individualization. And since this topic is so monumental, I believe that linguistic determinism should be taught in high school curriculum. In school, we are taught to think beyond the surface knowledge and into the deeper meanings of things. We know that language determines knowledge, but linguistic determinism goes deeper. It correlates human knowledge to human language. In his reflection of the theory, Alvino Fantini said that the language we are born to has a direct effect on how we conceptualize, think, interact, and express. The concept highlights cultural differences, and this is a big reason why I think it should be taught in schools. Others think that it shouldn't be so we can preserve our cultural diversity, but you're always going to have the oppositional group. Linguistic determinism can rewrite our way of thinking to suit individual needs of students and solve simple problems that from a different perspective, And a good example of this would be in a multicultural classroom. In a multicultural classroom, it's really difficult for peers to understand each other. But if you start incorporating linguistic determinism, the students will want to learn more about each other's culture and start to understand each other better. I didn't understand how much of a monumental topic culture was until I started nursing. In nursing, in each unit, you learn a little bit about culture, and that's because healthcare and healing is looked at in such different ways in different cultures. So how do you start to incorporate this in schools? So first you have to understand the topic. And defined by Oxford References, linguistic determinism is a range of views in which our thinking is seen as being shaped by language. Now, the very concept of linguistic determinism says that you will slowly start to develop your own version of what it means. To me, it's the idea that language determines how we perceive the world and it shapes our knowledge of that world. A good example of linguistic determinism is gendered languages. Let me explain. So in languages such as German and Spanish, they give gender to objects. So I know a chair is feminine. Now for English speakers, this is a really big hump to get over when you're learning these languages because it's such an odd topic to think inanimate objects have gender. This is linguistic determinism. Our culture is different based on our language. So to incorporate this into curriculum, I believe you need to start earlier. And instead of using language arts or plain English lessons, I suggest that you do linguistics. So defined by Berlitz, linguistics is the study of human language, including structure, history, acquisition, and practical use. Now, what exactly is the difference? So the difference is linguistics aims to understand language from a real-world perspective, rather than based on its rules, like we usually learn languages. So linguistics shows the differences in how students think, and to be able to incorporate linguistic determinism, you have to start trying to understand how others think from a young age. Linguistic determinism can challenge the basic language and diction used in a classroom to see different results. A good example of this is in an article written by Kristen Eck out of Western Oregon University. In this article, she outlined a study of two teachers in New York who wanted to try to solve common problems faced in the classroom. By doing this study, the teachers found that their students' writing, speaking, and critical thinking skills improved. Linguistic determinism can be a bridge between cultures. It can explain cultural differences for the average student. So to be able to incorporate this, you need to teach about culture young. You need to ask questions and research other cultures. Be curious. Linguistic determinism can be a foundation of cultural understanding, and if it's incorporated into schools, it can create a completely different generation. Thank you.